All right, we've got, as I just said, 4 to go. And race 9, J-Bond, is the 2-year-old trotting fillies final. I'm a bit excited about the 2-year-old trotting finals this year because I think we're seeing some genuine, exciting horses, and none more exciting, in my opinion, than Gatesy's Gem, who we'll talk about in one moment, because Sassy Galleon comes first.
Well, if everything goes to plan here, I've got a little tiny thing about Sassy Galleon ending up 3 poles. But really, this does look the best money race. It sounds weird with 2-year-old trotting fillies because you've got that fear factor, that Joe Rogan. But really, Gatesy's Gym, we'll get to in a moment, should be winning. And really, I think you'd agree that Sassy Galleon should be running second.
Not by a long way. Have no fear. Yes,
Cody's
trotters have no fear. But look, 2-year-old trotters can make mistakes, but Sassy Galleon is an absolute professional, and so is Gatesy's Gem, right? And I was listening to Chris Lang Jr. on the Paul Campbell channel. I think Paul does some great stuff behind the scenes at some of these meetings, J-Bond, giving you some fantastic insights into. So I've heard from Glenn Hunter and Chris Lang Jr., and it was just really eye-opening. I remember Jr. saying how highly he rates Sassy Galleon, right? But he said the only way we're beating Gatesy's Gem is if it draws 12 and doesn't have much luck and we draw 1. So he must have been thinking, oh, barrier 1, new beauty, and then Gatesy's has got barrier 2. I don't think there's as much between them as he sort of suggested there, but I think he's right that Gatesy's Gem is clearly the top seed at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's a fair bit between them, and it's I haven't seen Chris Lang Jr. in a number of years, but it's great to see the kid, not a kid anymore, hasn't changed. Did he give a little?
He's very data.
One of these with Sassy Galleon when he...
No, look, I didn't say he's very data. He thinks about it. He's very thoughtful in his answers, and I think that's a fantastic thing. It's a bit like Kieran Maher in the Gallops. He's very almost data-driven. You know, Andy Gatt's another one who does it. He thinks his way through it. Won't just say things for nothing, J-Bond. He doesn't waste words.
And he's got that slow pentameter of speech as well.
Yes. Yeah. Exciting horse, Sassy Galleon, but what about the 2 Gatesy's Gem? I mean, the comment from Glenn Hunter was, well, she's a big, tough 2-year-old. She's big. Yeah. So it'll be interesting watching where she gets to. And normally he said when they're big, they can make some mistakes. She doesn't. She just doesn't. And she's big and she's a professional. So that's pretty hard to beat.
Whitson Quarter was a giant 2-year-old, wasn't it?
I think so.
And also pretty much didn't get beaten. Gatesy's Gym, Glenn Hunter, amazing for Glenn. And it's out of the Mick Hughes out of the game now, of course, but Just Believe, I think was originally with Mick, potentially. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right.
There you go.
And Gatesy's Gym out of Gatesy's Gill, I'm pretty sure I'm barking up the right tree here, the right acorn, the right redwood. Gatesy's Gym just looks to be absolutely anything. Now, you don't know how good a generation is. Same in the footy or whatever. No, it's a bit different in the footy, I suppose. But when you see them come through, you don't know how good they're going to be down the track. But Gatesy's Gem looks like it could be absolutely anything. And if it trots, which it will, because you don't worry about where it ends up, because as soon as it wants to roll forward, the lead's there. It'll just be baraining them, I would imagine.
I think Glenn Hunter half joked, that Nathan came up to him and just said, if you want to go on, if you're going to get a holiday or go on holiday, just let me know. It's a serious trotter, and it's going to be very interesting to see where Gatesy's Gem ends up. It's $1.35 with tab, and Sassy Galleon's $5.50, Jace. On my market, it's $1.25 and $8.
I mean, I'm half up mucking around with these prices. I made it $1.40 and $4.50, but really I think it's $1.08.
Tomorrow. All right, let's get through some of the others then, Jace. Number 3, She's Sky High. Tyrone Abila does a fantastic job with his team.
Does, but if you wanted to have 3 trifectas here and you have 2 to beat 1 and then stagger every runner in the field somehow, it would be in the bottom one, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I initially thought this was a really good trifecta race. I still kind of think it is, but I think you're feeling more confident than me. Initially, I thought My Heart Beats True might have been the 3rd pick. I think it's now. I think it ended up being equal with a whole bunch of others as my 3rd pick, Jace.
I'm going to make it the clear 3rd pick.
Okay.
Because I reckon it'll cross them.
Oh wow! Well, in that scenario, it is the 3rd pick by a long way. Right. Yes.
Even if it then handed up to Sassy and Gates's Gem 1 by 1, you're still in the perfect spot, aren't you, to run third?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5 is Sky Flare.
Trust yourself, Codes.
I should. I was wondering if Sky Flare was a member of the almighty Flare family, Jace, of trotters, and I didn't go clicking my way through. Well, so it's out of Gypsy Flare, who was out of Fiona's Flare. I guess I could trace that back in. I'd probably be right. 4 placings from 6 goes for Jodie Quinlan.
Touch of Flare was so fast. Yeah, I mean, again, where am I putting it? Probably in the bottom tier as well for the...
Yep, me too.
The trifectas.
Kinvara Kate is a really consistent daughter of Volstead, one for the back end of tries and first fours.
Flew home. It'll be in the second tier. So the first tier is just My Heart Beats True, but Kinvara Kate is going to be a nice trotter.
Yep. As I scroll down here to give a shout out, Russell Jack and Nathan Jack with that one. Number 7, Kiyang Kirky's interesting, J Bond. Very interesting, this horse, the 7. Jason Lee made the comment during the week. We'll have a chat about it. We'll work it out. We've got 2 options. 1, we absolutely go handlebars down and we go for the top. 2, we go back. And I thought, gee, I didn't actually think it'd spear to the front. Then you go and look last time it did. It crossed Gates's Gem and others in the heat. And all right, well, why can't this horse, put the handlebars down and go for the front?
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Just because My Heart Beats True is in the middle of them as well. And
yeah, I
actually think even for its education, I think it can go back and run into the same position it might if it goes forward. So
that's it. Yeah, fair call. Yep. Number 8, I Am Wilma, I've marked it big odds, and it is big odds, Jace, but it's in a very powerful stable. Chris Lang trains. It's only the other one run.
Yeah. Second run, I think Reduced Choice might have won a Blue Diamond in its second run, but you don't normally win Group 1s at your second run, and I Am Wilma, 100 to 1 for me.
Reduce and Testarossa, wasn't that a great rivalry, J-Born?
Tester was, we both would have been more Tester fans, yeah?
No, it was actually Reduce. But I loved Rick or Lacey.
What? You're a blue blood.
9, Prohibited Grace for Matty Whittle and Graham Whittle. Terrific fellas in the game, Jace. Prohibited Grace. It's $18 with tab. I've marked it 21.
It was $3 something, I think, in the heat, and everything went wrong. I've marked it big odds, but that's just the nature of the market being dominated at the top end. You can run third. Another
of the Karen Manning number 11, legs 11, is Vera Lane, who's at $61 with tab.
34 for me.
Yeah. What did I write? Form is better than it might be assumed. It was actually close up behind Zarski at Sarang, and they're not far behind Sassy Galleon last time. So it was $61. I think it's a pinch of overs, but when you market them 30, it's still, you're not giving them huge hopes. Number 12 is Oria, would you say?
Yeah.
Blake Fitzpatrick.
Oreo. First you twist it, and you look at the Oria. Who was the trotter with Bill Milner that had a name like that?
Opia.
Sorry. Just one letter different. It's like a Wordle or something, but with 4 letters. Oria.
Was Bill Milner the fellow who was looking to enter one day? We had a barbecue out at Melton, and he was trying to. Paul Oxford will know this. I think Bill Milner, he came up to me, he said, "Excuse me," he said, you wanted to enter a horse? And I said, well, yeah, you might have to bring the racing office.
Privately with you.
Strange story. But anyway, there you go.
Oria will be in that third tier again.
Yep, me too. And exactly the same for the 13. I've got plenty of time for Miss Ohana. The Greek Sugars will have to weave some magic. But I did make the point on my own notes, J-Bon. I often wonder if it makes much, much less difference the barrier draws. And I think you made this point earlier with 2-year-old trotters. It's more just about manners.
I think it's probably the third best in the race.
Okay.
So My Heart Beats True goes in head purely because of where I think it might land. But I think Miss Ohana and Kinvara Kate would be the other ones with, if you wanted to skinny it up, for your money racing. Exotics, Mr. Winnell.
I'll be playing it similarly, J-Bon. Race 10 is the 3-year-old trotting colts and geldings. The last race that I've done my full markets for, because I've run out of, you'll remember the old spreadsheet we used to use, J-Bon, where you type the odds in and it'd give you the percentages. Oh, yeah. I'm still using that spreadsheet, but it only goes up to 10 races and I couldn't work out how to build the other two.
I'm a pen and paper man. That's why I'm a Testarossa man.
Yep. Ringer Wells is the pole marker, and I felt this horse just looked a little bit up against it, J-Bon.
There are a stack of runners in this race that went super in the heats, and Ringer Wells was one of them. I could entertain backing at a place.
Nice. Okay. Well, you are getting, I would imagine, a good price. You're getting $5. Yep.
Yep.
41 for the win.
There's a couple of others for as well.
Number 3 is Titan Stride, who is a $6.50 chance. I marked it $12, J-Bon.
Marked at $5.50.
Okay.
Equal second pick virtually.
Number 4, Singara Ted. I think it's got a bit of ability, this horse. Most of them do, I guess, at this level, Jace, but I can't have it here.
I will be backing it a place.
Ooh,
at
nice.
$7.
Well, that's $7.
I'll be having more on it than Ring of Bells. I think Singara Ted was super at its heat and has got a lot of ability.
I tell you what, I don't think Derek the Jet will make a mistake, but if he does, J-Bon, geez, you'll be in a good position with all these juicy place bets.
We'll get to Derek the Jet soon.
Oh, hello. 5, Distant Sun. Generally finds the lead I've written here from the front row, and I imagine Jody will come out absolutely handlebars down, J-Bon.
Yeah, 100 to 1, that.
Fair call. Number 6, Mr. Blindside, is $11 with tab. I marked at $51.
I marked at 16. It was a massive, 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 again, heat run. It's the one that I can't back a place because it's only 220 a drum, but
yep.
It was big, mate.
Yep. It's funny. I don't know why I've done that market. I think I was trying to play around with it for the percentages because my comment is super consistent. Definite place player with an exclamation point, but I still marked at 51 for the win.
You're getting to the Sam Newmans now with a little bit of a cocked mouth, eh? A little bit of a cocked mouth, Ed.
You got to do that sometimes, young fella. Number 7, Derek the Jet, Chase. I love this horse, and I think Nathan Jack does have a very serious opinion of it, and so do I. But I just get the feeling that for some reason you're not as convinced just yet.
Well, I might just be fishing because I haven't heard from Nath in a while. And I miss his banter. And no doubt me saying this will inspire a message from Nathan. Absolutely the one to beat. Star. Gonna like outstanding talent. There was just something about the heat win. He had to shake Derek up, and Derek copped heat there, and Derek seems to cop. He doesn't get a lot easy in life. A lot of Derek's don't probably. That's another ism. Derek-ism. Like they're probably not a lot of Derek's get an easy time in life, but Derek Kickett, as you well know, got dropped for the 93 grand. Was it 93?
It was, yep.
Yeah, absolutely top tip, but I'm for $1.30 chance. What is it? $1.25, $1.30?
Yep, $1.30.
I'll have Gates's gem over Derek the Jet, and Nate, look forward to hearing from you.
I marked it $1.30 and a moral. Number 8, Let It Be Me, J-Bon. Got the gun run behind Derek the Jet last time out. Bit trickier here.
I mean, Gates's gem at the same price in the previous race. Let It Be Me.
Yep.
Let It Be Me. Yeah, that's the other one. That's the third place bet. $6 a place.
Yep.
Yeah. If you have all three of them, only one of them needs to run a drum.
It'd be funny. The Derek the Jet will something if it misses the place. J-Bon, the other 3 run the trifecta. You haven't had a cracker on it. It'll pay thousands and thousands and thousands.
Don't care as long as if you bet on them to run a place, they've just got to run a place.
Number 9 is Ewing, who is 100 to 1. And all I'll say is Andy Gaff gets them firing for finals night. It's 100 to 1. So if I was having something at any old odds on a place, I might lean towards a horse like Ewing.
I think it's the strongest customer going around. Big Patrick, the centre for the New York Knicks back in the day.
It'll be 3 or 4 pegs, though, won't it? It'll just drop to the pegs behind Let It Be Me.
Maybe, unless you can hunt through behind Titan Stride, who goes forward early.
Yeah, true. But Valtino, can't Blake Fitzpatrick bring a good one down? Keystone Dell, that was Blake Fitzpatrick. Yeah.
At one point, then in Team Melander.
Then Melander.
He's had
Valtino.
Stats. He would have won quite a number of Vicbred Super Series. Weirdly, because he's obviously based in New South Wales. Equal second pick Valtino. And can we, if Derek the Jet isn't to win, Valtino obviously can.
So market out stuff. Yeah, I've marked it equal with the 3 at $12, but I've got one ahead of both, which we'll come to soon. Number 11 is Courage's Law. I prefer others.
Encouraging one last time, but big odds.
I really like number 12, Loxley Lover. Pushed Derek the Jet to 1.3 metres and then was parked when second to Valtino in the heat. It might just be the best maiden trotter in the country, Loxley Cavalier, and from a very good breed and stable.
Well, you had a little bit of a malapropism there and called it Loxley Lover. So that's your opinion.
Did I? The Loxley Cavalier, yeah. I apologise. Yep.
I mean, John Nissen
does a great job.
Small team, the pilot. You could find a young trotter, but yeah, no, I don't put it in the same bracket as Valtino and Titan Stride, and of course Derek the Jet, but just below them.
All right, yeah, I've got it second,
and will be a very nice horse going forward. Very nice horse.
I've marked it $9. And number 13 to finish off, Thunderstruck. This is an interesting horse, J-Bond. The draw obviously makes it hard, but it's clearly got the talent. I've marked it $21.
I've also put a couple of others in that bracket as well, and Thunderstruck's another one. Clearly has a lot of ability. Was it one? No, I might be thinking of a different runner. But I think they've got a good opinion of Thunderstruck. It's just a draw that's going to hurt. But if you're playing exotics here and you do think Derek the Jet is immoral, well, put it in for third.
Let's find out. Looking forward to that race and all your place bets going around in the game plan. Race 11, J-Bond, the 4-year-old mare's final. And we see, I will say this. What do we got? Yes. And then just to confirm, I'm not talking utter nonsense. Yeah. I think we finish off with the two stone
Just
cold.
a moment ago, I wasn't sure myself, Coach.
We finish off with the two stone cold morals of the night, don't we? In the last two races.
Well, you went with Sahara Breeze last week, but you've cooled on that, Jet.
Well, I mean, just the way the barriers work out. I still like Sahara Breeze as a horse. Even last week, though, I was a little worried about the map scenario, and in the end, it brought me undone, the map.
I got a tiny bit out of it, but I ended up having first fours with Sahara Breeze in staggered ways to run second, third, and fourth, and ended up running fourth. But Sweet Bella does race like she'll lead on her ear here, you would imagine. But
there's nothing there's nothing on that front line that could lead for starters. But then who even parks? Ludicrous?
Yeah, well, no, I honestly think based on last time and based on its normal racing pattern, No Sweet's View might park. Yep.
Well, I think is just fantasy could actually, but I don't think it'll be winning.
There is actually a tiny little world far beyond Pluto, the exoplanet, where is this just fantasy or Sahara Breeze? Sweet Bella is not an amazingly fast beginner, but I think they'll all concede. And the thing about Sweet Bella is in a different world. If there was one of the other pseudo tiny chances here drawn behind it, Sweet Bella is the kind of horse who races in that last 150 metres like, if you want to come get me, I'm here. I'm not going to race away from you. Come on, get close, and maybe you can run on back. I don't know why it speaks like that, but yes, I marked it $1.40. I think it's actually probably $1.28 chance, and it's I think relatively close to what it is. Cody went up.
It is. It's $1.22, and I think it's a moral. Number 2, Clive's Girl, J-Bon.
I'll tell you what, the heat run was amazing. Yeah, I think it maybe run third in enormous odds or fourth.
Number 3 is No Sweets for You, Michelle White.
I mean, really, really lovable, consistent horse, but can't see how things are going to work out in its favour here, so no.
Number 4, VMJ McRae, no match for Sweet Bella when they clashed in the heat. And he's got the prickly end of the pineapple from the gate draws here, J-Bon.
I mean, she's my little former mistress, but she proved again last week. Hit the front, just waited to get run down. We'll run a place, I'd say, but won't be threatening to win.
Is this just fantasy? Absolutely prime for this, capable of electric sectionals. I love this horse, but needs the speed on early, and I don't think it'll happen. Don't think it maps well, so I think it'll possibly end up lobbing in the breeze, and I don't think it'll win from there.
Third pick, probably, in the race.
Sahara Breeze is another one who can produce supersonic sectionals, J-Bon, but what do you do from 7? I guess has to go back and just has to wind up into it.
Is You Better Not out?
Hey?
Is You Better Not out?
Did I skip it? Yeah, I did. Number 6, You Better Not. Shout out to Scotty Ewan, a long-time listener of the show, J-Bon. Big odds.
Yes, 100 to 1. 100 to 1. Yeah, and as for Sahara Breeze, I felt, even though, the race didn't pan out at all and all the rest of it, I felt like it was below, wasn't it, last week?
Maybe. I mean, it's interesting. It was $15 into $12 after the market opens. Maybe it was below.
I think she's as good as Sweet Bella, but I I can't see it winning from there.
Just the map makes it really hard. Keyang
Yeah.
Blue Jeans, big odds. Done a good job to qualify.
Yeah, might hang on for fourth. Might.
Credulous is $81 for the win and $8 for the place. I think it sprints past Keyang Blue Jeans late.
That big place bet I had last week at 260 worked out with Credulous holding on.
Right.
I'm throwing it in for third. Yeah.
I think
Ludicrous the same.
Yeah, well, Ludicrous is the tough trier. It's the horse that could balance up, get round, and actually do some work and still be there fighting it out late.
It didn't work. I mean, he got that beautiful run through from the second line, but they went hard after that. It was a really good run, but again, so it's drawn behind No Sweets for you. Yep, third.
Yep. And Surfing makes sense. Another one, Karen Manning, barrier 11, just cruel by the barrier draw, but you've got to put it in. It's a nice horse.
We spoke about Surfing makes sense ages ago, right at the start of the.
We did.
Thanks to our podcast. I reckon Surfing makes sense. I know it had the gun run. I'm not saying here, but I reckon Surfing makes sense is going to make a very good horse. Very good horse.
No, couldn't agree more. And number 13, You Beauty, Aaron Dunn has drawn horribly, J-Bon.
Even Dunny doesn't drive this one aggressively, so I think it'll be going right back and 100 to 1.
Trifecta race?
Well, I think first fours maybe, purely because I think I'll only be having VMG McRae, Is This Just Fantasy, and Sahara Breeze for second.
No Ludicrous.
But no, third.
Okay. Yep.
But I'll be throwing in Clive's Girl in a little one to run third and definitely to run fourth, and then Keyang Blue Jeans for fourth, because it is the kind of race where all that would need to happen is one of those two to run fourth in the first four.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, some of the most obvious exotic races, people either leave them alone, or I'll tell you what they do, Coates. They play them too aggressively.
Yeah, which is me. The amount of times I've done them way too aggressively. And especially if this race pans out like it could, right, and the horses that are great swoopers end up going back, this could be run at a fairly pedestrian pace for a Group 1 race. And in that scenario, Blue Jeans is the peg line just keeps kicking.
It just holds on. All it has to do is just cling on for fourth.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got your value.
100%. All right, race 12 to finish us off, Jace, is the 4-year-old trotting colts and Enties and Geldings, and we kick off with Avant Garde, Ross Graham and James Herbertson combined, as they do often.
Avant Garde. I've been called Avant Garde. No, look, some of these, yet again, because of the very short price favourite, are going better than the prices I've marked in, but 100 to 1 for the bull marker.
Fair call. Number 2, J-Bon. Call me Jack for Ian McMahon, Matty Purcell, $34.
Geez, didn't it fly home in there?
It do.
Yep, it do.
It do.
Yeah, I'll be throwing it in for third.
The Locomotive, just dominant, winning the heat, should lead here, and it's very hard to see a genuine Group 1 horse like the Locomotive getting beat.
Yes, it will be winning. Leading and winning.
$1.28 with Tab. 4 is Sugar Daddy, who brings in really good figure form. I must admit, I don't know a lot about this trotter J-Bon, but has been racing well. I
thought the run was, I don't run second. It was good without being maybe quite market expectations. Might have been clear second. But anyway, it's in the mix for third, but so are plenty.
And a shout out to Steve Clark, who will be thrilled that you've gone tonight with the singlet and the muscle top again, Jace. Number 5 is 4 out of 5 for Nick O'Connor and Xavier O'Connor. 4 out of 5, racing well.
Oh, it's. I'd put it above You Call Me Jackson Sugar Daddies. I'd be putting it equal third pick with.
Oh wow!
The one we're about to discuss next.
I've got a few in the second tier, and I don't quite have that one, but I do have all the tricks.
I've got a very, very clear second pick.
Well, doing a great job, Adam Stevens, with this horse. And I think it's still on the way up, all the tricks. I think this horse is still improving. I think he's got a lot of upside. I think he's a genuine metro-level trotter. And that's the thing about some of these Vicbred races. A lot of them aren't. He is.
He's got heaps and heaps of bottom. He just makes life awfully bloody difficult for himself. That's the only thing. Yeah. He's my equal third pick, along with 4 to 5.
$18 with Tab, $3.20 the place. Number 7's the emergency. Number 8, Jace, designer Vici for Shane Hoban, who does a very good job with the trotters, and Johnny Caldo.
He certainly does. Not for me, the Vici.
Daryl Crone and Tina Reedus with Prince of Rock nearly won a big race at 150 to 1 at Maryborough from memory from the Extreme Draw one day. Has been underrated previously. I was hoping might be underrated here from a value exotics play, but it's not. It's well in commission, J-Bond, at $8 with tab.
$1.60 the place?
Yeah.
If you just wanted to be half a lunatic with the get out stakes, you can back the Locomotive to win and Prince of Rock to place because he is far and away clear out second pick for me.
Same race multi situation, J-Bond, rather than the old Quinella and destroying the pools there. Number 10, well, actually, I suppose you're not destroying the pools. You're playing it with the corporates anyway, aren't you, these days? Number 10, Got Feelings, you know, Jace, Chris Venancio.
I have.
Snooze.
People just don't understand that I do. 50 to 1.
Yep. 12, What's Up Party Time? Hard to follow, but clearly has ability, Jace.
You skipped one again. You're starting to... Mitchell Rapp doesn't get a rap?
Sorry. Let's go back to Mitchell Rapp, who I have skipped over, for Jennifer Douglas and Jordan Leadham.
This has been a genuine 2,760 metres, though. So, and you're hosting. So, Mitchell Rapp, nice horse, but no, 100 to 1. And What's Up Party Time?
Yep.
He's been a heartbreak horse for me. You'd think that in a race like this, again, given his performances at Metropolitan level when he's been on,
yeah,
but he's down there in the third and fourth for me.
He's been back
for wider exotics. 41
into 31 into 17 for What's Up Party Time.
Yeah, right.
Number 13, DJ Dex. I've written this, J-Bond. Very hard to follow, but there is a level of ability there that if it did everything right, it could add value to trifectas and first fours. He's $101 and $12 the place, and I think it's got some hope in the minor exotic money. DJ
if you have, and I believe you have made a comment like that for every runner for the entire program, I'm giving you your own Fabergé egg. Oh yeah, bro, DJ Dux, the done. No, not for me. Unfortunately I didn't write any poems about DJ Dux, but no, 100 to 1 for me.
He's beaten the Fiery Sunset. He won by 15 metres by 45 metres 3 starts ago.
That's that level of ability you're talking about.
Something caught my eye there at some point, but anyway, whatever. Yeah, the favourite will be winning, J-Bond, in the last.
Yes, I'd imagine so. And Prince of Rock should be running second, in my opinion.
It's been a marathon, but I tell you what, I want to get to some of the comments that have come through on Twitter, Jace. There's only a handful of them, but we threw it out just prior to recording. Ryan Aylwood has thrown out Penny, ? Miss Australiana, ? Oriah, ? and Titan Stride. Well, Penny, yes, I'm tipping Penny as the value horse. Miss Australiana, well, we talked about all these horses, didn't we, Jace?
Yeah.
Oriah and Titan Stride, anything to add there for Ryan Aylwood?
Well, I think he's another man that's happy with me putting back on my my pod uniform tonight. Well, you're into Penny.
I am.
And I have very, very, very subtly questioned the moraldom of Derek the Jet. So Titan Stride, maybe. The others, I'm not so sure about. Oh, well, Miss Australiana can win, but I don't think you're getting value.
Fred Didio is a fantastic friend of the pod, Jace. He's asked, where did the $34 and $6 J-Bond go for Sir Jimmy? Do you want to care to explain, Jace, where that went?
Well, I had a reasonable bet, but it wasn't. I can tell you one thing: it wasn't all me. And it was the one I mentioned earlier. I did find strange because it was like Wolf of Wall Street watching the flux move around.
Yep.
Sir Jimmy did not make that move for the first 20 minutes. I don't think it was only afterwards. But people cottoned on it finally.
And Fred
but
says,
I was part of it. Yes, Freddie.
And Fred says Kiyang Tokyo 420 to Kiyang Zahara 160 equals 672 on the calculator. That will do me.
Yep. There's no reason that can't happen. Kiyang Tokyo is one of the half dozen winning, or what is it? 4 main winning chances for me in the opening event. Mm-hmm. Zahara should be winning.
Stewie Gillespie, Jace, friend of the
Love
pod.
Stu. G'day, Stu.
Looking forward to this one tonight, obviously with a bit of bias. I hope Cody gives one of his favourites a really, really rough rank outsiders chance early in the night.
Who's that?
I'm trying to... Who is it?
One of your favourites.
He's in with the only decision. I'm just going through his Twitter profile now. This is terrible. We should know this off the top of our head, shouldn't we, Jace?
We don't need to check the ownership. Rough chance.
Oh, well, I'll go through and check
Blue or something, is it?
Don't know. I've got to go back and check the ownership of Gillespie. But Stewie, good luck. I hope that we gave it a good push. I hope. Do we have any more, Jace? I see there was someone asked about your album, where they can buy your album.
Yeah, well, there are albums out there. So, like I said, Lloydie's come up with a great idea, a little balcony party, and I
like that.
We've discussed between the two of us, haven't we, Coach, that we're going to get into a live situation at some point. We haven't quite decided when, but I do love the idea of being a big party, and I'll bring the axe, I'll bring the guitar, I'll sing some songs, I'll do some stand-up comedy.
Yep.
And it'll just be a night to remember.
Well, so put the call out there, the feelers out to the clubs. We've got some good friends in Clubland, Jace. If anyone wants to trial that, let us know. Reach out and we can have a chat because, I know Charlton, I reckon, would be into something like Jace. I would like to think Melton, Gail down there we might strike up a conversation and say, could we get a bit of space put aside and we could put on a bit of a show?
You know what it's all about, Coach. It's like back in my music days. I'm still playing now, but back when all you do is you have a big launch somewhere, right? And then you know what happens?
What's that?
Everyone wants a crack at the prize after that when they see how successful it can be.
100%.
All you do.
So
we go out there, we launch the album big time, and then all of a sudden the requests come flooding in.
This was not on the run sheet, but let's talk about it. You'd get Punters Club, you'd get tips or races previews. We'd have some we'd tee up some trainer and driver interviews because I'm sure some of those lads and lasses would want to come up and have a yak to us.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be a good night, wouldn't it?
Oh,
yeah, good night. It's just what the Trots needs.
I would love a variety show. Everyone, I think a lot of people know I love trivia. I'd love a little bit of Trots trivia.
Trots trivia.
And just like engaging with the fans and making everyone who wants to be a part of the podcast come and be a part of the podcast. Yeah, we'll get a couple of prizes happening, and
we might even play that name game. Go around the room where everyone has to name a horse, then the third letter, and we'll just keep going all around the room. And you've got 3 seconds to come up with one that hasn't been mentioned previously. That'd be a great
You've had plenty of practice. You might be short of.
It's been fun. That is the Vicbred Super Series deep dive. Thanks to pace setters on tongue tie off, Jace. Good luck. The game plans will be up Saturday mornings as usual.
Good luck, mate. It's going to be one hell of a meeting, and we'll get back to discussing the big issues next week and beyond. But I think we both just thought this week, great meeting. Let's focus on the form, and hopefully we found some winners, and hopefully Coach didn't skip over. He didn't skip over. We've discussed every runner, so hopefully everyone who's involved gets something out of it. Good on you, mate.
Godspeed.